Aloha my kako, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be harvesting some Lenalena. Here is a iri uwawa. I forgot to pull this kalo last time we harvested the rest of them, but the rest of these kalo here are Lenalena, as you can tell by the dark green streaks on the petioles, and they also have a lot of keiki.
Plenty keiki.
Each makua probably gave around 10 to 15 keiki a piece. So first I'm going to start off by taking out the iriwawa with the pitchfork, and then now I'm going to start taking out the lenalena. When using a pitchfork, be careful not to stab the kalo. I like to go at a little bit less than a 45-degree angle, sort of vertical, so that I get a good deep penetration below the corm, and that way I can just uproot them easily like so. An iron o'o would work as well, or a shovel, but I like the pitchfork. When in the lo'i, I would rather use a wooden o'o, kind of shorter wooden o'o, rather than the iron o'o that I've used before in my previous videos. So if you're wondering why you can't find lenalena on kupuna kalo, I don't know. I can't find it either. But from the person who gave us this huli, or who gave my sister-in-law this huli, because she planted these kalo about 8 to 9 months ago. So yeah, these kalo are being harvested at around 8 to 9 months. But so yeah, the person who gave us these huli that we planted and blossomed into these beautiful makua and oha told us that this kalo is lenalena. The really interesting thing is that an auntie from this island where I'm harvesting the kalo from commented that this is not lenalena, but this is in fact an imposter. Just like everything from planting to growing to harvesting, all styles are different, and depending what island you're from or what family you're from, things are always different, especially here in Hawaii. And that variety in how we cultivate kalo is the beauty and what makes Poe Hawaii so special. But back to why I think this is actually lenalena. After cutting the kalo, I noticed that the koko, or the blood or the sap of the kalo, was yellow, like olena, or like lenalena, or the color yellow, as well as the color of the kalo itself after we cooked it. Here, like I said, these lenalena gave approximately 10 to 15 keiki for each mama or each makua. It's super awesome. Now we have a lot of huli to plant, and also a lot of huli to give away to family and friends. So right now I'm just gonna finish up and take out the last clump of lenalena. Now at first I thought this was some type of manini variety because of the striped petioles, or ha, but I was mistaken. So I think this is clump number 6 or clump number 7. So 7 times, maybe 10 oha, maybe 8 oha at the least. Yeah, do the math. That's how many huli we're gonna have. So as you can see, there are a lot of oha connected to the makua. You can easily just break them off. While I was harvesting, some of them already broke off as I kind of shook the dirt off. So that's that. So right now I'm just processing the kalo, just topping the tops off and cutting the kalo off. For the babies, I'll leave on the kalo, chop off the low. And here we have a iri uawa that we forgot to harvest with the last batch. So in comparison, I really like the iri uawa compared to the Lenalena. The Lenalena is more drier and more chalkier, whereas the iri uawa is very moist. It's a for a good table taro. It's also good for making poi, but we just like to eat it as kalo pa'a or just solid kalo, steamed, sliced, ready to go at dinner. Now don't get me wrong, Lenalena is perfectly fine as a table taro, but personally I like to spice it up a bit by either making it into a kalo hash of some sort or even frying it up with some butter. Here's that ridge line. Now this ridge line is meant to grow the kalo differently. I don't know, I'm gonna experiment. I'm not entirely certain. Just sort of saw it on an Instagram post. Shout out to Kumukaina and Aloha Aina Poi Company. But I found that cutting huli this way is much more faster and efficient, especially if you have a lot of kalo to process. But also this way you don't need a chopping board, so just cut halfway, do a little spinning action and snap off. From experience working in lo'i or wetland terraces, kalo, this is always the way they've done it, the snapping off sort of technique. I was always afraid of this technique because sometimes I would snap off kohina, and sometimes that could inhibit the kalo to grow. But makahana ka'ike, and if you don't do them, you're not gonna know, and if you don't try, you're not gonna find out. Mahalo nui for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.